buenas tardes, mi gente. Con ustedes la comadre B, aquí con otro episodio de Comediando aquí y con café. First of all, like always, quiero mandar mis saludos. Hi, Mom. And to all my regulars, hello. Thank you for watching. Y en especial Hugo Cuevas, Mr. Vinyl. Hello. Alright guys, so let's get into the topic of today. A ver, I wanted to talk about a story that just broke off this past weekend que me tiene bien traumada. Like, wow. Okay, for you guys that might not know or are not familiar with this huge story that just broke off this last weekend, on Friday, they found the body of a missing 13-year-old girl out of the Orlando, Florida area. Her name was Madeline Soto. And like I said, she was a 13-year-old child who was reported missing last Monday, which was February the 26th, by her mother. Now, this story está fea. Like, wow, okay. So, turns out this child lived with her mother and the boyfriend lived there as well in an apartment. So, Monday came around, it was time to take this child to school, and the boyfriend did so. According to some of the statements said, the mom and the boyfriend both took this child to school, but the statement the boyfriend said is that he did take her to school, didn't drop her off in front of the middle school. He dropped her off across the street. Which is it? I don't know if they went together, if only the boyfriend went. Obviously, it wasn't an eye-raising situation if the boyfriend did take her on his own, because obviously he lived there, so what is the big deal, right? Okay, now there is surveillance cameras there in their apartment complex, which shows that this boyfriend, last name Stern, is seen throwing out trash from his car, which was later identified as Maddie, her backpack, and her Chromebook. You know, the assigned computer that the school gives you. So, the weird thing about this is that the time recording was 7:35 a.m. You see him leave, and again he shows up at 8:19, which is almost an hour later, guys. And he has Maddie in the car. Like, they can actually tell that this child is in there with him. Now, during this hour, they believe he attacked her, and she was deceased when they drove into the apartment complex again. I don't know what this person is thinking. How can a person be so hypocritical, commit this horrific crime, attack a child, kill her, and then go home after like if nothing ever happened? Okay, the mom wasn't notified during the day that Maddie didn't go to school. It was until after school, la niña no salía, she was notified, the mother, that Maddie didn't make it to none of her classes. She didn't come to school today. Right away, the mom made a report. The police, everybody's involved. They're starting to look for her because of the age of this kid, you know. So, you know, everybody's on the manhunt for this child. You know, she's missing. She didn't go to school, this and that. There is another surveillance camera that shows she was across the street from her school at the church parking lot. The question is, what happened? Why didn't she make it to school? Did the boyfriend call her back in the car? Who knows? Only Maddie will know. Anyways, the situation not only is ugly right now, it gets really ugly. Wednesday, when the detectives and the police, they're talking to the boyfriend, Mr. Stern, I guess they went through his phone and they found a lot of explicit footage that involved this child in a sexual way, with the footage taken from with inside the home. He was arrested, I believe, on those charges. So obviously they have him in there. They are grilling him for any and all information they can get from him, whatever. Thursday, the detectives that are still working this case find a body in the neighboring city of Kissimmee. And they believe it's Maddie, but they're not 100% sure, so they don't say anything. Till the following day, which is now Friday, they confirm to the mom. Le dicen, oiga señora, si es su hija. Wow, right? They found her in a wooded area. They don't say exactly the condition they found her in, but it is believed that sexual attack was committed against her. Go figure. Alright guys, back to this whole case. I know I have told you all before, please be careful who you fall in love with. Please be careful who you're seeing. Please be extra careful who you bring home and who you bring around your children. Okay, I'm never going to point fingers because that's for perfect people, right? But I do think we need to focus on our children more than anything. I know as a fact, I've said it before, I see it literally everywhere. Every parent I've talked to says the same thing. Once these kids hit 13, 14 years old, they don't like us no more. They don't want us no more. They don't want to be around us anymore. I am literally going through that myself right now, and my kid's not even 12 yet. It is such a short time that our children are children, and they are with us. And, I understand you want to be loved. You want to be in love. You're in love with love. Who isn't? But our children need our love more, and our protection and our guidance in every possible way. Sacrifice your time, guys, just a little bit. At least take the time to know who you are involving yourself with, who you're bringing home, what they're about. There are so many freaking cases that involve child abuse in every level. Mentally, physically, and sexually. And I feel like us, the adults right now of the community, of society, we are failing our youth. We are failing our children, In a day and age where we cancel literally everything. You can cancel a person just because they call somebody else fat. Why is it that we can't open our mouth and make something happen when we hear something happen? You know what I mean? We are failing our children, guys, tremendously. Está feo. We need to be the voice for them because they can't say much. And if they do, nobody listens. Nobody cares. Just the other day, I was watching this interview where Dr. Phil was on a show. It wasn't his show. It was another show. And he's talking about the rise in child death when COVID hit. He's talking about, when COVID hit, everybody was forced to stay home, this and that. And believe it or not, guys, these deaths were not because of the COVID. They were because all these children were home, stuck with their abusers. Can you imagine that? A lot of the times, we see kids and don't even think twice what their life at home is like. We see them, those pobrecitos, they're all thin, not well dressed, this and that, blah, blah, blah. You don't assume it's because they're going through abuse. You might think, well, it's the age, kids don't eat, blah, blah, blah. Maybe their parents can't afford it. Maybe they could and choose not to care or not to provide or not to love their child. Like I said, it's not always the case. I'm not talking down on anybody. But it's just something we really need to actually study closer when we see it. So yeah, guys, we need to study these children closer and offer a helping hand if we can. Sometimes it's hard for them to speak out of fear. Sometimes they know nobody will believe or care. It's just one of those things. And like Dr. Phil was saying, they're stuck with their abusers. It was about 1.5 to 2 years that all these Zoom classes were going on because of the COVID. And that's horrible. For all the death rates on all these children to go up because they're stuck with their abusers, that is freaking heartbreaking. Because home is their safe haven. At least that's what I think, you know? You have issues at school as a kid, you can't wait to go home where you are relaxed and in an environment where you know you are in your comfort zone. You know, it is just one of those heartbreaking things. And like I said, you know, we need to step in as adults. You know, those mandated reporters, like they call them, teachers, you know, school nurses, blah, 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 principals. Anybody that sees that kids are in danger, speak on it and report it. And that's a good thing. That is a very good thing. We have, for example, that case last month right here out of Santa Clarita with that guy, Sergio Gomez, that killed his girlfriend's 3-year-old baby, Ivan Martinez. If you guys didn't hear about that, let me tell you what happened. I guess this guy, Sergio, was living with, you know, his girlfriend. She's pregnant 5 months. And they're arguing because he swears she has been cheating on him, blah, blah, blah. They're arguing for a while. She's just tired of it. Se enfada ella. She's like, whatever, dude. Turns away, walks into the room to go lay down with her son. That was only her child from a previous engagement. And this guy follows her in the room and shoots this 3-year-old baby right in the head. Close range, right in the head. Just to spite her, just to shut her up, just to you don't walk away from me. I don't know what is wrong with people. They get obsessively in love with people. It's not healthy, it's ugly. That's why, once again, I'm telling you, know who you are with before you start bringing them around your kids. Because these situations are horrible, they're ugly. And you know, I don't mean just love interests in general, people, period. Last month as well, out of Houston, Texas, there was an Amber Alert with another 11-year-old child that was killed by a family friend. Now, if you don't know about that story, let me tell you. Her name was Audrey Cunningham, 11 years old. Same thing with her. The family friend lived on the property in the backyard in a camper. But he would take her to school when she missed the bus, or he would drive her to the bus when she was running late. This poor baby didn't make it to school either. She lived with her dad and her grandparents in the main house, and once again, the guy lived on the property in the back in a camper. So, yeah, when they were waiting for her, she never even made it to the bus. Obviously, she didn't make it to school. There was an Amber Alert that was issued. They didn't find her body till 6 days later, guys. 6 days later. They found her in Trinity River, which is 10 miles away from her home. And she had a big rock tied onto her body when they threw her into the river. And yes, it was the friend. The family friend is the one who did it. Now, if you already know you have a hothead friend, or that he has previously been in trouble, because this guy was arrested back in 2008 for sexual things involving a child. Do your research. Know who you're inviting over to stay with you. You're doing them the favor, and at the end of the day, they're a freaking monster. Another horrible one with child abuse, Gabriel Fernandez. I know that one grabbed national news. His birthday was just the other day, February 20th. He would have been 18 years old. Another precious baby. You know, he was killed in May of 2013 by the mother's boyfriend. The mother had a lot to do with this abuse too, although she says no. A lot of accounts and reports say that she's been going through it in prison, Pearl Fernandez. And you know what? Good for her. I'm glad that the streets are taking justice for her son on her. How dare you fail your child just because you want to be in love? Again, like I said, we all love love. I want to feel loved. I want to be in love. But your kids come first. Your kids come first. Their needs will always come first. it's a sacrifice, guys, and I get it, and I know, but like I said, don't completely not date nobody. Just take your time and study and learn the people you are dating, first of all. And then think if it's a smart choice to bring them home. The whole respect with introducing them to your parents and your children and having them live with you, because you never know. Another case that just passed this January, a woman got sentenced for a crime she committed back in June of last year, 2023, out of Pennsylvania. Alicia Owens, of 20 years, she killed her boyfriend's 18-month-old baby. Okay, she wanted her out of the picture. She fed this baby acetone, little amounts of acetone. ¿Qué es eso? It is nail polish remover, guys. Nail polish remover. That was the official cause of death, although when the autopsy on this precious little baby was done, they found that she had fed her numerous button-sized batteries, and even a screw was found in this poor baby's belly. The baby was in excruciating pain for 4 whole days till finally her tiny organs gave out and she died. So this is how, her story played out. Obviously, the guy was looking for love, needed that love, and this is what he found. A monster that murdered his tiny baby. This woman obviously knew what she was doing. The officers and detectives and everybody on the case doing their protocol, they took her phone, started looking through her search engine. Turns out she was looking up beauty products that can poison kids, how to pass a polygraph test. So she got caught, she got sentenced, and I am happy for that too. Another haunting case of horrific child abuse on a tiny baby. She didn't even live to be a year. Is the case of Brianna Lopez. If you don't know that one, please look it up. Bring a box of Kleenex and a bucket, because I guarantee you will want to vomit from such a horrific case that involved this baby's mother, father, and uncle, the mother's twin brother. It was out in New Mexico, and I promise you guys, when that case was hitting hard on the media, my kid was little, and wow, this is one case I have never been able to shake, and it's been years. It's been about 10 or 11 years now since all this was going on. And the sad part is that her mother's actually able to go on parole soon. So it's like, where is justice for these tiny kids? All these children, all our youth. It's just case after case after case, and it is devastating, heartbreaking. Like, how can we all just mind our business, not want to get involved, and let this stuff happen right next door to us? It is wow, just wow. So I don't know. This is something to just think about. Like I said, I'll be following this case of Madeline Soto, because everything's still developing. A lot of the stuff being said by the mom kind of seems like she knows more than she says she does. Obviously, el novio ya está en la cárcel. Let's see what comes out of that. Exactly what and how many videos or photos were found in his phone, it still hasn't been said or released. So all of this is just the beginning of something I'm pretty sure is very horrible. Alright guys, so I'm asking you all to be a metiche. If you see something, say something. Report it to the police, report it to the school, call it in anonymously. There's even a child hotline that you can report all this to. 1-800-for-a-child. So if you see or know or suspect something's going on, who cares, guys? Just report it. You can possibly be saving a life. And that is where it's at. Okay, raza, con eso los dejo. Que pasen un bonito Tuesday. Taco Tuesday. Tuesday de borrachera. Please remember, guys, do not drink and drive. Call your mother. Call your father. call your nephew, call somebody, your daughter, the niece, but please do not operate that car. Do not drink and drive. Ahí los dejo, raza. Los adoro. Bye.